Oh, hi Larry.
Hey, buddy.
I did not see you there.
Yeah, you were jamming out pretty hard to what Wonderball's really coming along. Good for you. I mean, I'm not going to say I'm more attracted to you, but I'm definitely not less, and I find that odd.
All right, so what I gotta say is, if there are any musicians out there that watch this, you realize in the intro I don't have a guitar in my hand, so this is a learning process. So out of spite, last week, I'm like, that's a pretty easy song. I'm sure I could learn the basis of it. Play a little Wonderwall, brother.
I'm really impressed. As a matter of fact, you could hand me a guitar and give me like 3 weeks and be like, learn this, and I'm like, I don't know, I can eat the strings. That's what I can do.
Yeah.
I
wouldn't advise that.
No. I've done it once on a dare, and I'm still facing. I don't know. I'm just babbling now. I'm so tired, Brandon. I'm just so tired all the time.
Yeah, what's shaking in Springtown?
Today it decided to be, I guess, fall. I guess we've got fall today after weeks of record-breaking temperatures. We're in like the 70s, I think. Which is, and I've been down in the old danger dungeon, so hence the hoodie. I don't know. There's no regulation to temperature. I live at night or subterraneanly. So, yep, that's the word. So often
Below the surface.
Yes, so yeah, when I came up and saw that there was no sun, it kind of, I think it triggered some type of a seasonal affective disorder for a minute. It's like, oh god, it's winter already.
I'm kind of right there with you. Where I'm at, it's blazing outside and frozen tundra inside. There's no semblance of regularity. It's crazy. It's one extreme to the other. You know what? I got a fun little game to play.
Oh boy.
Larry, I'm going to show you. Yeah, I'm going to show you a series of photos or a video, and I just want your first reaction to each.
Okay.
Okay. You may have to see this first one a few times. I may not have made it long enough.
Okay. All right.
Ready? Here we go.
That is, I mean, that looks like the worst album of 1993 just got released.
Pearl Jam's greatest hits.
Pearl Jam's least most popular B-sides. Welcome to. It's delightful because I know it's done ironically, but immediately I was just like, I want to put that in a bargain bin. Wow. Is what I want to do, and just watch it pile up.
All right, let's watch it one more time and pay attention to the footwear.
First, the music really sells it. Second, yeah, the New Balance. But it's all like fancy New Balance, like dads that are still young enough to be cool. But
Brother,
that's
that's three generations of New Balance right there.
It's all my uncle wears, but he wears the white ones, the ones that look that are just like. Over engineered, each shoe looks like they weigh 40 pounds.
All right, video number 2. Here we go.
There it is! And the strike!
I want to play. That's my first reaction. I was like, well, yeah. That's what we went on a float trip one year, big camping float trip, and I stopped and may or may not have used my employee discount for the construction company I was working for to buy 100 yards of plastic sheeting and a bunch of like Dawn liquid Dawn dish soap, so that we could make the greatest slip and slide ever conceived. And it was fantastic. Only 3 people got injured. The whole camp, watching larger dudes, heavier dudes just pick up that head of steam right at the bottom.
Yeah.
And just whip right off at the end of it, while lighter people are just like sliding and like delicately landing.
Probably got a little road rash because you flew past all of the wet grass.
Oh yeah.
Got a little. Yeah.
Yeah. There were several people that had to like tuck and roll across the paved road into where we thought we were gonna like knock over our tents. We're like, all right, maybe we should back it up a little bit. Yeah, that was fun. That was on a 4th of July weekend. I put a little English on that too. You did?
If you didn't notice, yeah.
I know. I absolutely.
Yeah, it looked just like a bowling ball.
I
have about the width of one too.
I say you look more like a bowling pin. I look like a bowling ball. Yeah, I know. That's our Halloween costume. There we go. Yep.
Perfect.
Absolutely. Yep. Well, maybe not. I don't know if I should dress up as any. Never mind. Nope.
Okay, moving on.
Toe the line. We won't go over it.
Yeah. All right. For some reason, I couldn't get the formatting right on this photo. I tried several different sizes, and it wouldn't translate into the video. So I'm just going to show it the best of my abilities on my camera. And I just want your natural reaction.
My natural reaction. It's yes, that my wife likes to experiment. What can I say? I'm just here to help her out and let her figure out things that she likes. And she chalked up first, so if that counts for anything, she
there was some fear in your eyes there, brother.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know how far up, if I was gonna be tasting the end of that pool cue, or if she was gonna stop at a reasonable level. I had no idea.
Larry, the moment we announced our second comedian, I don't know why.
You're casting a spell. You're gonna make him. You are gonna make him appear. It's magic.
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna announce our second comedian here. That's what we're doing. He'll be performing October 20th and 21st at 3R Squared Event Space, right next to our restaurant. He is a viral sensation and is larger than life. Literally.
Yeah.
The dude is 6'6" and 360 pounds. You may have heard him on Bob and Tom, and he wrestles bears for lunch money. Give it up for Sam Miller.
Hello, this is Sam Miller here in beautiful Olympia, Washington, living my dream.
Hell yes. Hell yeah. We're gonna edit, so we're not doing this live. I don't know if I really told you that up front, but we'll end up editing a little bit of this and that, so we can.
I want you to leave this part in where you're talking about editing and telling me about my stuff. That would make for an interesting podcast.
All right. Well, how the hell are you?
We're not.
I am magical.
Sam, we're not trying for anything interesting.
Okay, good.
Yeah, you said you used the right term. It's podcast. No. It's not interesting.
I'm not even gonna lie. I haven't stopped moving in like 2 days. I got back from San Diego, and then I'm getting ready for this next tour. I'm bringing my kids with me. I woke up yesterday. I got out of bed at 9 in the morning, and was wound up. I remember last night at 11 o'clock, I took a shower, and I was like, well, that's the last thing I had to do. I did it all. And so from 9 to 11, it was just trying to make this career pop off. And the behind the scenes work is most of it. And then people see the videos online. They see they see that I'm doing all these shows, and but most of it is emails, podcasts.
You're doing all the you're doing all the business, and you're self-managed, pretty much.
Yeah. I work with a few different like booking agents, but I don't have like my own booking agent. They're generally booking agents that represent venues.
Sure.
But yeah, and I do a lot of stuff around the Northwest, but I'm here, right now, and I'm talking. Yeah. I'm going to Monticello, Illinois. That's what it sounds like.
Woo! Yeah. Well, thanks so much for submitting your application for our open position. We just have a few questions for you before we make a decision. So my first question is: the year is 1996.
Okay.
Did you vote for Mike Donnelly or Governor Tracy?
Wait, 96?
Yeah.
I was like 13, I think, 14.
That's a Black Sheep reference. It was recorded in Washington State. I didn't know if you guys were too big into that.
Yeah. I was, I'm going to tell you that here's a Sam Miller pro tip is you got to be careful with references because I was homeless and in jail a lot. So like, I don't know about any of that stuff. I'm just kind of like,
I'm gonna keep it a buck with you, Brandon. When I read that question that you said when you said it, I was like, I don't even know what the hell he's talking about, but I'm gonna let him roll with it because he seems happy. So,
because
I love that question.
Black Sheep was in the spirit of Tommy Boy, but it wasn't quite as good as Tommy Boy, but still a good movie.
Right. The fight scene between Farley and what's his face?
David Spin.
No, why can't I come up with his name? Interesting podcasting, Larry. The dude played Buddy Holly. Yeah, that's the most recent reference. The guy's insane. Anyway, cut it. This is why we don't do it live. Me. Why can't I come up with this jackwad's name? Hi, Sam. Good to meet you. I am
trying to figure out being a jackwad. That's not a nice thing to be called. So whoever this person is, I hope they don't find out that like, oh yeah, this guy in this podcast, he couldn't remember your name. He called you a jackwad.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go into details. I don't know what podcast this is, but it doesn't sound good at all. Man.
It's I'm fully prepared for this today. Gary Busey for.
God, yeah. How did I forget that?
Yeah, that's he and Gary Busey. It's a great
Drake Savage.
Why didn't I just pretend like I usually do, like a professional, and vamp while reading at the same time, Brandon? Why didn't I do that? This is why you fired me last week, and I can't believe you kept me around.
Oh. All right, Sam.
All right,
Off the rails here.
Yeah, so I'll get back.
I'll get back.
What?
I got in 20 words or less. What's your immediate response to this video?
Who is that?
I have no idea.
That's 3.
Real patriot. That's me.
No, I'm not. I'm not going to get political. Not a big fan of the government. I enjoy the American people. That's too many flags.
Perfect.
It was 4th of July.
Yeah, I similar reaction when I saw that, except my thought was the shorts too long.
Yeah.
Too long. Need to be shorter.
Also, the eagle noise is superfluous. That's a big word for a guy like me to use. But when he's riding and he makes the eagle gesture and he's going past the flags, wearing his American gear, like, I get it, man. You're just riding.
That's just the noise
for the flag, man.
That's the noise that comes out of Brandon, like 3 times a day.
Nice.
That's
Yeah, it just happens.
So, Sam, I got a question for you. I myself tour as a stand-up. I know. How old are your kids, if I could ask?
I got a 12-year-old and a 10-year-old.
12 and 10. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't take mine on the road, mostly because, unlike yourself, apparently I wasn't a masochist. No, I'm joking. I've actually.
Yeah.
No, how have you found, like, have you done this before, taking them on the road with you, or is this your first go around with that?
Last summer I took my wife and my kids on the road with me, and what I found is that if I expect it to be like a comedy tour, I'm going to be disappointed. If I expect it to be like a road trip and a vacation, I'm going to be disappointed. But if I just kind of keep an open mind and kind of roll with it, we can have a pretty amazing time. So, and also this run, so the first 4 days, so we got about a 5-hour drive, and we're literally leaving immediately after this podcast. We have about a 5-hour drive down to Roseburg, Oregon. And then we got about a 2-hour drive back to Salem. We're just going to be in Salem, Oregon area for a few days. And then, and so there's not going to be a lot of driving. And, they're on their tablets a lot. And they, if there's something remarkably beautiful, I will make sure that they put their tablets down and look at it. If I have a 5-hour drive, I leave 9 hours before I'm supposed to get there. And then if we drive past the mountain stream, we'll jump in it. And I don't know. I think that the other thing too is that honestly, like, my wife deserves a break. And because if I do get the job to come out to Monticello, Illinois, I know my application is pending. Like, my kids aren't coming to that, My kids aren't coming to that, and that's gonna be part of it's funny because I know I have my pending application to do those shows for you Friday and Saturday, but since that point I've also booked the Wednesday and the Thursday, and now the Sunday and the Monday as well. And it looks like I might try to go back on Mom too, which will be good for us if you do allow me to do your show. So to answer your question, man, like, it's just, I'm not going on the road with my kids, and I'm not going on vacation with my kids. I'm doing like this other thing. And as long as I roll with it, like, I've been sober for 15 years and I take recovery like really seriously. And part of that is like just like trying to figure out like what I do and don't have control over, and then like trying to let stuff go, man. That's the hard part, is like not trying to, like, if shit's not going my way, not trying to like choke it,
Right.
Yeah.
That's the hard part.
That's something that the times I've been able to take my kids out with me on like a short run, I tried to, the first time was like, no, we got to do it like this, because that's how you have it in your mind. But then I learned pretty quick that it's just give yourself plenty of time to get there. You want to stop and get lunch, you do this and do that, and just kind of chill with it. Yeah. A couple weeks ago, I set up a whole run of shows where I could take my youngest is now 17. I was going to take him out. He was looking forward to it. And then about a week before we left, I set up all these shows, places that he can go with me. So he wanted to like have to sit board at the hotel room. And then he had an opportunity to go to in his words, a cooler trip. And was like, yeah, do you mind if I just go do that instead? And I was like, no, that's fine. You just go do your thing, man. That's good. That's
a good thing for me to realize too. Is it's pretty cool. My kids still want to hang out with me right now.
Right. Yeah.
My 12-year-old, like, he's getting to that age where Dad's not like the coolest guy around, and also like the weekend after that, like, I'm on the road like a lot, and there is part of me that's like kind of grieves because I do like being on the road by myself, and like I'm cool with traveling with other comedians as long as they're cool. But man, like when I do those big, like, I don't know if you guys have ever seen, but I do these big Western runs. This is the thing. So you guys, Illinois, East Coast, like different deal. Being a comedian, especially in the Pacific Northwest, like I have Seattle and I have Portland, but basically I'm in the rotations at all the shows in Seattle and Portland, and like I can tread water here and I can give myself a decent career, but I do have to hit the road, you know? Mm-hmm. And sure. So like when I do these runs where it's like, I do one where it's like Bozeman, Montana, Laramie, Wyoming, Denver, Colorado, Lake Havasu, Albuquerque, Lake Havasu, Santa Cruz. Driving from Lake Havasu? No, what is it? Yeah, Lake Havasu, I think. Like, so driving from the Mojave Desert to the Redwoods, like it's like it was like a 9.5 hour drive, but it was incredible. Like I've never been to that part of the country before, you know? So like, I don't know. Awesome. And it's my time, you know? So.
Yeah. No, I totally get. I did the 9-hour drive home. Show fell out on a Monday. Not surprising. But so I was like, oh, you know, it just gets me home a day earlier, and it was from South Dakota to Central Illinois. And it was part of it was like really cool. Okay, here's different, and then I get to Missouri, and I'm like, I grew up around Missouri, Illinois. I've seen all this, so it became like from wow, how pretty, oh, this is cool. Oh, I haven't seen that before. To oh my god, I'm gonna just jerk the wheel into this ditch and just for some excitement. So if I could ask one more question of you, I know you're taking off because you have a very distinct style on stage. Are you do you prescribe to like the school of writing like Seinfeld or Carlin, where you sit down and you write the joke and you work the joke, or is it I've got a premise, I'm gonna go on stage and write it on stage?
I don't even have premises off stage usually. Man, I'm just riding a wave, dude. Like when I'm up there, I do plan on trying to write more, but honestly, my offstage stuff is social media, video editing, emails, travel. Eventually, I hope to be in a position where I have people in my camp that can help me with more of that, and I can focus on creating jokes. But usually, dude, like when I'm on stage, like it's funny because I'll come up with a tag to like a joke, and then that tag will get bigger and bigger, and then I'll realize that the tag itself is better than the joke that tagged it up. And then like what's funny is in like a year and a half after that, I'll be on stage and I'll realize that I'm not doing the original joke at all anymore, and it's just the tag. So like it's funny because like recording an album, so I have an album coming out in October, which is funny because dude, if I do your show, basically, like I'm gonna be promoting the hell out of my album while I'm there because it's coming out. Right on. Yeah, so the special is going to be released October 20th, and then the vinyl is coming out on the 27th. That's the night of your show. Yeah, it's going to be cool. So
that's awesome.
But yeah, making albums is weird for me because like for me it's not like, oh, I do this joke and then I stop doing this joke. That my act is constantly like, it's funny because I see people come up to me and they're like, dude, they're like, I swear that I've heard those jokes before, but every time I see you it's like so different. And I'm like, yeah, like I don't really like, I don't know, like I feel like I molded more how I communicate into stand-up more than stand-up comedy molded me. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I was funny before I did stand-up, and I've always been a good storyteller. Well, actually, I wasn't funny when I was a kid. I wanted to be funny really bad, but nobody laughed at me. And I was really sad. But I got funny now, and that's nice.
Brandon, you got to hire this guy. I mean, I don't have any power.
Oh yeah,
Sam.
We got a back of house position. We'll start you on the dishes.
That's fair.
I think you're in. You know, and then you can work your way up if you're willing to take a chance.
I'll do the mic, and then you can put me in the hosting rotation.
I have to work the door for a while. Yeah.
6 years later, I'll get to do a guest spot. That'll be great.
There you go. I love it.
Boy.
Hey Sam, I know you Yeah, I know you're getting
No, you
ready to
guys
head
got
out on the
time. We
road.
got time. I have a hard out at like 11:30, so we have plenty of time. So we got. You can ask me as much or as little as time as you want. So.
Okay, well, tell me about yourself. What do you want the people of Central Illinois to know about you when you come over and perform at Three Ravens on October 20th and the 21st? What do you want them to know about you?
I mean, I'm, in my opening joke, I tell people most of it is about me. Is it, I've been clean and sober for 15 years. I've been married for 12 years. I have 2 kids. Generally, if I had to describe my comedy in like a fast sort of way, is that I kind of deal with those, what it's like to be a drug addict, jokes about that, what it's like when you stop, and how strange the world continues to be for me, even without drugs. I think my life got a lot weirder when I stopped getting high, which is so, yeah. And I tell people this all the time. This is kind of like my first year sober was harder than my last year doing drugs. You guys will appreciate this,
Wow.
possibly, but after I got sober for a whole year, I walked around thinking that I'm probably going to have to fight somebody to the death at some point. I thought that somebody would challenge my honor, and I was an insane person is what I'm trying to say. And I wasn't an aggressive person,
Yeah.
but I was ready to die at any moment.
I have a hard time believing, Sam, that anybody would approach you and want to fight you.
I know, it's ridiculous. And now I'm a dad and I'm a comedian and I'm grateful for all this stuff that I got. And the other thing I'd let people know is that I'm really funny and I'm doing well at comedy, and it's good. I've been good on stage I feel like I've been a solid comedian probably for 4 or 5 years, doing really well, ready to do longer sets. But in the last 2 years, things have really kind of snapped for me, and I'm a lot more confident than I used to be. And if you can be confident on stage, everything else works itself out. So
yeah, I encourage people that aren't familiar with you to get familiar, because doing stand-up, I'm also a fan of stand-up. And can't stop myself from being a fan of stand-up, even though I've met a lot of stand-up comedians who hate stand-up, which seems weird to me. So I'm not going to say I'm a hard laugh, but I am a discerning laugh, and I have consistently, every clip I've seen, I'm listening to it on my earbuds, and my wife keeps looking. She goes, "What are you laughing about?" And I'm like, "This guy, I keep sending you clips. Watch him. This guy's hilarious." So I encourage people to come watch it.
I really appreciate that, Larry. I like it when other comedians like what I'm doing and they kind of see what I'm doing, because it's not character work, but kind of what I'm doing on stage is that I'm kind of I play kind of dumb, I don't know what the score is, and a lot of my jokes, they seem like they're just accidents, but and people can't tell if I'm making it up on the spot or not, and I like it like that. And sometimes I am making it up on the spot, but most of my stuff is written. It's just I think it's my job as a comedian just to be really funny. And what's dope is that I think a lot of regular folks, and especially folks that have been through hard stuff, especially other people in recovery and other people that maybe they still have issues with substances, they love my stuff, and that's what counts to me. And then I think comedians like you, Larry, that know comedy, I think you can kind of see how hard I work on it, so.
Yep, absolutely.
Sam, I got to tell you that I followed your stuff. I really don't know. I can't remember a good timeline, but I saw some things floating around, probably on the Facebook Reels. I loved it, absolutely loved it. I knew I was putting this comedy series together, and I know when you and I spoke, the dates that we were working on, I'm like, that's going to be a tight fit, but we were able to make it work. But the reason I bring that up is because, I've watched it for several months now, and I always kept coming back because the material was that good. And it wasn't just the material, but it's like you said, it's your storytelling about your life. and all the things that you've gone through, right? I don't know if I could say enough about how awesome it is to be sober for 15 years and to go through the things, and not knowing you from Adam, but going through the things that you explain on stage and coming out on top the way you do is very admirable. I look up to that.
No, I really appreciate that. I'm kind of tripping out because I think that's like a common phrase that you use. Like, I'm kind of trying to figure out who Adam is, because you were like, like I was like, I'm pretty sure that's a thing people say. Maybe it's like a Midwest thing or something. But,
probably.
Like, is there another comedian named Adam who's similar to me?
Adam Levine. I think Adam Levine.
No, man, that's the move. And I'll tell this story because I think it's an important story. There was a guy who was running a show in Vancouver, and me and him got pretty close. And he was really struggling because he was having a hard time dealing with comedians. And he asked me one time, he said, "Why are these comedians so hard to deal with?" And I was like, well, I think sometimes what we do is we're more comedians than we are people. And some people, they focus so much on being a comedian, they forget that they have to live a life and be a person. And I was like, so some comedians, they're more comedians than they're comedians before they're people. And then he told me, he goes, well, some of these folks are neither. And I was like, brutal.
Yeah, we talked about that last episode about being a person, because you have to have experiences to be able to write about it, to be able to connect with your audience.
I'm working, what's funny is before I head your way, so I'm going to be in Park County, Indiana, and then I'm going to Chicago, and then I'm coming down to see you guys. And
do you know what part of Park County? My dad doesn't live too far away from there.
I don't know. It's like I think it's called the Covered Bridge Comedy Festival.
Yeah,
it's like a newer
Covered Bridge Festival. Right on.
Yeah, that Eric Sablin, and like, because it's funny because I was going to tell this story about him. Is it similar to me and you? And we can talk openly about this. I don't really care. Like, I'm still at a point where I'm figuring out the business side of things, and I want to thank you, Brandon, for like talking me through that and like helping me, because you and this guy in Maine are the first people that have booked me at like a national level. Well, there's been a few other folks too. Like, I don't know, it's complicated, but anyway, like I've been headlining in the Northwest for a while, and now I have this online presence that is worth something, and I just have to figure it out, But he said a thing, like he was trying to work out stuff with me, right? And I was like, hey man, I got to talk to my wife because I'm going to be gone a lot that month, and I'll get back to you. And I talked to him, and it turns out I could do it because my wife's going to take some time off of work. She's going to take that week off of work, and she'll have a bunch of time to herself. And he said that he really appreciated that, and that told him something about me. Is it like, I'm not gonna blow up my marriage and ruin my kids' lives to be a comedian. Because if you do that, if you're more comedian than you are like person, you're gonna lose everything. And people do that.
Yeah, it's got to be a good balance, just like a work-life balance.
Yeah. Because if you're nothing but a comedian and then comedy doesn't go well, then what are you? You're
right.
You're the hole in the donut.
Exactly. Yeah. Brandon can tell you more often than not when he gets a hold of me and says, hey, can you do X, Y, or Z? I immediately go, let me double check. And he knows that means let me go talk to my wife and make sure that I'm not missing something. Yeah. Because, it's important, especially if you've got a supportive partner, somebody that pushes you and believes in you and all that, to look at them and go, I know we have the shared calendar. I know we have the calendar up on the wall. I want to triple check and make sure that this is still an open weekend, because, there's a lot of times I can be told something twice and go, yep, you got it. And then immediately think about 15 other things, turn around and go, I know you just told me this and I'm about to screw something up, aren't I? But yeah, it's super important to be able to look at that supportive partner and make sure that they understand that even though you have to put a whole lot of emphasis on this career, that you still put them, above that.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. I forgot. I want to show you guys something real quick. I'm not trying to change the subject, but
no, No, you're good.
I want to show you this. This is Jazzy, by the way. So
What's
I
up?
just woke
What's
her
up,
up.
buddy?
What do you think, Jazzy? You want to say hi? No. Okay.
No.
She's
How are
half
you?
Chihuahua.
Boo.
She's half Chihuahua,
Boo,
half
boo, doo.
dog, and she's from Fresno, California. So and I didn't name her Jazzy, but it fits because she's pretty good, and she smells
Pretty
really
jazzy.
good.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
she smells-
So is the dog coming in October, or are you leaving the dog at home?
No, I would never.
I was saying
bring
people are
my
gonna ask. People are gonna ask.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna throw my phone through a freaking wall. Like this shit, I'll tell you what, man. Like, I'm doing my best to keep track. Like, my main issue, the hard part of comedy is sorting. So, I get a lot of messages, and you know what's weird, man, is I could have easily missed the message that you sent me, Brandon.
Sure.
I could have easily missed it, and I know that I've missed other ones. And there's a lot of people who message me that sound like they're serious about stuff, and they're not. It's just like a game,
Yeah.
and they don't even know they're playing it.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at them. It's just the name of the game. But then there's also a lot of messages I get, and my favorite thing in the world is I get messages from other people in recovery, and that makes me really happy. Is people being like, I met this guy who's like, hey, I just got out of prison. I met a girl in recovery. She went back out. She relapsed. I got 2 kids. I'm a single dad. I'm working concrete. And he came to one of my shows. He saw the clips online. He messaged me. I talked to him. I was like, man, that's badass. You're really doing it, you know? He's like, yeah. He's like, my parents are helping, but yeah. He's like, I'm a single dad. And he came to my show. He took the night off and he got a date and he came to the show. And his wife, well, not his wife, but the girl he's dating or whatever, he came up to me and he didn't know that if I'd remember him because we only talked online. He's like, hey, man, it's me. It's I don't want to say his name. But I was so excited to see him because I do have this connection with folks, you know? And I'm like, dude, you're doing it. You're killing it. You made it. Like, because there's a lot of people that don't have kids and maybe life has been a little bit nice. I don't think life is easy for anybody, but I think it's a little nicer to some people. And like them going to a comedy show isn't a big deal, but this dude is a single dad working concrete in Ohio. For him to come out on a date on a Saturday night and get a sitter, like that shit was huge, you know. And I want to make sure that like he knows that he deserves, like, human beings deserve love and respect, and if you're not getting that, like, you got to make some changes, you know. Like, it's rough, man.
Absolutely.
That felt really soapboxy to me. I apologize.
No, you're good, dude.
That's awesome.
What I was gonna say again is a lot of respect for someone who has a platform. That platform will continue to grow, and you're using it for the right reasons because you have an agenda, right? You want to be someone that someone can look up to, right? As an addict, or if they're in recovery, you want to be that person that they look up to. So again, nothing but respect there.
Yeah, that's what's up, Brandon. Yeah, I appreciate it. I am, man. I'm really looking forward to coming out there. You know, I'm gonna go out. Like, I'm probably gonna land in Indianapolis. I'm gonna rent a car, and then there's a good chance I'll fly back out of Indy on Sunday. Is what it looks like. So.
All right, man.
I can't wait. Hopefully I do Bob and Tom again too. So that'll be cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Super excited that you're coming, man. Looking forward to it. Stay in contact. If you need some help on the business end, reach out to me. I can definitely be that ear if you need an ear.
I will. And you already proven yourself because you could have played that totally different and probably taken me for a ride. But you didn't do that. And for that, I'm appreciative. And that conversation that me and you had, it kind of built up my confidence a little bit. And not to mention that I'm getting so many more offers from so many places now, it's easier for me to say no to bullshit. Oops, I didn't mean to swear. I didn't swear this whole time.
You're good. We get to get the little bleepers out if we want to, but usually I'm okay with it.
I don't care if people hear me swear. I just didn't know what kind of podcast this is. So. I was on a different kind of podcast yesterday. I was on a wild podcast. And they were talking. They wanted me to tell stories about what things I did while I was doing drugs. And I thought they wanted funny stories, but I told a story about getting robbed. It's like really scary. But I think it's funny.
Whoops. Took a turn.
Yeah. It's like you should have put that in the email that you wanted to. I tell the funny stories about drugs all the time. Like
Pulling a scared straight thing on these guys.
Yeah, I was bad.
I don't even want this beer anymore.
Yeah, it's funny when I'm doing. I gotta say that, like, I want to. It's funny because a lot of my jokes, they involve like me talking about like methamphetamine and stuff. And it's funny because I tell the crowd I'm sober, but I'm like, yeah, I used to smoke meth. And a lot of times, like, crowds will shut down. And I'm like, I don't do it anymore. Like, okay. You're welcome.
Hey, man, just want to say safe travels on the road on your next, the leg you're getting ready to leave on. I hope you and the family have a great time. And we are looking forward to October.
Yeah. Hey, we can check back in and do this again. Closer to the date too. If you're, I'm always willing. So, yeah.
Awesome.
All right.
Right on. All right, brother.
Go ahead. Do you have anything else?
Travels.
Oh yeah, Sam Miller Comedy on Facebook, Sam Miller Comedian on Instagram, Sam Miller Comedy on TikTok, SamMillerComedy.com, Sam Miller. Here's my shirts. I sell shirts online that say Sam Miller, Let's Dance.
Oh yeah.
But don't buy them on my website right now because I'm not going to be able to mail anything out for like 10 days because I'm going to be on red. So,
right on.
Yeah.
Cool,
that's
it. All right, buddy.
Thanks, buddy.
See ya.
I'm 6'6". I'm 360 pounds. I got 2 kids. I've been married 11 years, and I have indeed been clean and sober for 14 years. Thank you. Yeah. Sometimes people ask me, they're like, Sam, what was it like when you were drinking and doing drugs? And I just show them this tattoo. This venue is small enough so most of y'all can read it, but that tattoo says, let's dance. So, yeah. If any of y'all are wondering if you might have a problem with drugs or alcohol, just read your belly tattoo. What does yours say? Because my tattoo says, let's dance. Which is wild because I've never enjoyed dancing at all.
There you have it, folks. Sam Miller joins us for this week's podcast. He will be performing live at our 3R Squared event space right next door to Three Ravens Restaurant, October 20th and 21st. And he'll have his feature with him, who's James Draper.
Yep. And James is great. You guys can tell Sam's great. You're gonna love him. Look up his stuff because you're not gonna be looking at material that you're gonna see again that night. So by all means, check him out. He's is he clean? No. Is he sincere and hilarious? Yes. And that is all I need from a comic. So
that's right. We're really looking forward to it. We'll see you guys next time. Take care.
Dad said he's going